Imagine building an empire from the ground up, acres of rolling farmland, a dream turned into reality, and a family legacy that inspired millions around the world. Now imagine watching it all crumble, not because of time, not because of loss, but because of a single court order. Yes, after months of rumors, legal disputes, and behind-the-scenes chaos, the gavel has fallen. A judge has spoken. And the verdict: Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler banned. Forever. But banned from what? From the Roloff Farms that became the heart of Little People, Big World. From filming with TLC. Or from the family itself. This shocking decision has sent shockwaves through the Roloff family, dividing loyalties, ending partnerships, and rewriting the future they once dreamed of together. In today's deep dive, we uncover the real reason behind this court order, the truth about what happened between Matt, Caryn, and the rest of the Roloff family. We'll explore the hidden details buried in legal filings, the emotional fallout inside the family, and what this could mean for the future of the Roloff legacy. So buckle up, because what you're about to hear isn't just another family disagreement. It's the story of how love, legacy, and the law collided, leaving behind a verdict that could change everything. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. From the outside, Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler appeared to have it all figured out. They shared laughter, business ambitions, and a deep affection that seemed to grow stronger with every passing year. For longtime fans of Little People, Big World, their romance felt like a second chance, especially after the heartbreak of Matt and Amy's divorce. Matt often spoke about how Caryn brought stability back into his life. After decades of managing the chaos of both family and fame, she became a grounding force, someone who not only understood the pressure of running Roloff Farms, but also the emotional toll of living life in front of millions of viewers. Caryn wasn't just Matt's girlfriend, she became part of the Roloff legacy. She helped plan events, managed the bustling pumpkin season crowds, and kept the operations running smoothly when tensions among family members ran high. Many fans noticed how naturally she fit into Matt's world, the laughter they shared during interviews, their teamwork during projects, and the visible comfort between them. However, beneath that polished image, the cracks were beginning to show. The Roloff family's dynamic had always been complicated, and when Caryn entered the picture, it stirred emotions that had never truly settled after the divorce. Amy, still adjusting to life post-marriage, had to witness her ex-husband move on with someone who had once been a close presence on the farm. It wasn't just awkward, it was painful. And for the Roloff children, especially Zach and Jeremy, the shift felt like a betrayal of their mother's legacy. Over the years, these emotions simmered quietly. Family gatherings became less frequent. The once close bonds that held the Roloffs together began to fray. When Amy eventually remarried Chris Merck, there was hope that everyone could move forward. But that sense of peace was short-lived. As Matt and Caryn began planning to build their dream home together on the farm, new tensions emerged, this time about ownership. Matt's decision not to sell a portion of the property to his sons, Zach and Jeremy, reignited old wounds. What was once seen as a family legacy began to look like a business deal gone sour. Caryn, though not directly involved in the decision, found herself painted as the villain in many fans' eyes. Viewers accused her of influencing Matt's choices, of pushing him to prioritize his new life over his old one. The internet buzzed with speculation. Was Caryn behind Matt's refusal to sell to his kids? Was she protecting their financial future, or was she trying to separate him from his family completely? The pressure was immense. Online forums, social media threads, and even tabloid headlines questioned their motives, their loyalty, and their love. And through it all, Matt tried to stay focused on his dream, to create a home where he and Caryn could finally have peace, away from all the chaos. But as we've come to learn, peace doesn't come easily in the Roloff family. Every move Matt made seemed to come with a consequence. Every choice sparked debate. And just when fans thought things were beginning to calm down, just when wedding rumors started circulating and Matt and Caryn's engagement seemed like the next step, the situation took a shocking and dramatic turn. The farm that once represented family unity had now become a battleground. Legal disputes, public arguments, and broken trust tore through the very foundation Matt had spent decades building. And at the center of it all stood Matt and Caryn. The couple who once promised each other stability, now facing scrutiny and division from every direction. Still, despite the storm, the two appeared unshaken in public. They smiled for photos, attended family milestones, and posted happy moments online. But behind the scenes, whispers of disagreement, emotional exhaustion, and growing legal tension were beginning to surface. Fans began noticing small changes. Caryn's reduced presence in Little People, Big World episodes, Matt's cryptic social media posts, and their decision to spend more time away from the farm in Arizona. Something was clearly shifting. And then the moment that changed everything. What began as a simple disagreement over property and family involvement would soon escalate into something much more serious. A court order. A ban. And the shocking realization that the relationship between Matt, Caryn, and the Roloff family may never be the same again. But before we get there, let's take a closer look at what led to that explosive legal confrontation. What really happened behind closed doors? Who pushed things too far? And how did love, family, and legacy turn into one of the most talked about scandals in Little People, Big World history? Stay tuned, because the next chapter reveals how Matt and Caryn's dream home turned into a nightmare that changed the Roloff legacy forever. As whispers of the court order spread, the once tight-knit Roloff circle seemed to fracture even further. What had begun as a private legal matter quickly spiraled into one of the biggest controversies in Little People, Big World history. Behind closed doors, tensions reportedly flared between Matt, Caryn, and other members of the family. Some insiders claimed that Amy Roloff, Matt's ex-wife and longtime co-owner of the farm, quietly supported the judge's ruling, believing it was a necessary step to restore fairness and stability to the property that once defined their lives. Others, however, saw the ruling as a devastating blow to Matt and Caryn's future. Friends close to the couple described them as heartbroken but determined. Caryn, who had already faced years of criticism from fans accusing her of causing family tension, now found herself in the spotlight once again, this time as the woman allegedly banned from the farm she helped Matt maintain for years. For Matt, the impact went even deeper. The farm wasn't just land, it was his life's work, a dream he had nurtured for decades. Sources close to the TLC production revealed that Matt had pleaded with the court to reconsider the order, arguing that his involvement was vital to the business and to ongoing projects tied to the show. But the judge reportedly stood firm, emphasizing the need for clear separation and peaceful boundaries among family members. When news of the ruling finally reached the public, social media erupted with emotion. Fans filled comment sections with divided opinions. Some wrote, "It's about time someone stepped in, this family needs healing, not business wars." Others countered, "This is cruel. Matt and Caryn don't deserve to be treated like criminals over a property dispute." Meanwhile, TLC remained eerily silent. The network's lack of response only fueled speculation that the show's future was in jeopardy. Several entertainment insiders hinted that the judge's restrictions could directly impact filming schedules and contractual obligations, forcing the network to pause or cancel upcoming seasons until the legal dust settled. Behind the scenes, lawyers and mediators worked tirelessly to untangle the complex web of ownership, contracts, and emotional baggage that now surrounded Roloff Farms. According to reports, the judge's decision wasn't just about the land. It was about ensuring that the toxic family dynamic didn't spill further into the public eye. For longtime fans, it was hard to watch. The Roloffs had once represented the power of family unity despite challenges, but now that unity seemed shattered. Even Zach and Tori, who had previously distanced themselves from farm drama, appeared to subtly address the issue on social media, sharing cryptic posts about peace, protection, and moving on. By the time November arrived, one thing was certain: the Roloff empire had changed forever. The farm gates that once symbolized hard work and love were now the center of legal battles, heartbreak, and loss. And for Matt and Caryn, who had weathered years of public scrutiny, this was perhaps their hardest chapter yet, a test not only of love and loyalty but of their future together. As the dust settled, the world was left asking the same question. Was this truly justice, or the end of an era for Little People, Big World? The aftermath has been nothing short of heartbreaking. What was once a tight-knit family bound by love, tradition, and a shared vision for Roloff Farms now feels like a collection of broken pieces, each member quietly trying to make sense of what's left. For years, Little People, Big World wasn't just a TV show, it was a reflection of resilience, family unity, and hope. But after the judge's shocking decision to ban Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler from the property indefinitely, the tone has shifted dramatically. Zach and Tori, who had already distanced themselves due to earlier property disputes, have now drawn an even firmer line. They've chosen peace over proximity, focusing on their children, their home, and their new life in Battleground, Washington. The farm that once represented their future now stands as a painful reminder of a past they can't reclaim. Amy Roloff, always the emotional backbone of the family, has spoken softly but firmly about her disappointment. In one of her recent live sessions, she admitted that things shouldn't have come to this. She expressed sadness that legal matters and bitterness took precedence over love and understanding, values she tried so hard to preserve. The fanbase, too, is in turmoil. For many viewers who watched the Roloffs grow up on screen, this feels deeply personal. Comment sections across social media are flooded with heartbreak and disbelief. "LPBW will never be the same," one longtime fan wrote. Another added, "It's like watching the end of our own family." Public opinion about the court's decision remains divided. Some believe the order was justified, that certain boundaries needed to be enforced for the family's safety and stability. Others argue it was excessive and punitive, tearing apart not just relationships but the very essence of the show's legacy. Meanwhile, reports suggest Matt and Caryn are attempting to find solace away from Oregon's chaos. Rumors claim they've begun spending part of the year in Arizona, possibly to escape the tension surrounding the farm and rebuild their life quietly. Friends close to the couple describe them as emotionally drained but determined to move forward. Still, whispers persist that they may consider appealing parts of the judge's ruling, a complex and uncertain process that could reopen old wounds and further divide the family. Professionally, the ban casts a shadow over the future of Little People, Big World. Without Matt's leadership and Caryn's management of farm operations, production could face significant hurdles. The farm has always been the heart of the series, its fields, pumpkin festivals, and family gatherings symbolizing growth and connection. Now, with the patriarch legally restricted from setting foot there, the core narrative may no longer exist. The emotional fallout runs deeper than contracts or camera crews. For a family that once built their identity on perseverance and unity, this moment marks a painful turning point. What began as a dream, a farm that would bring generations together, has become the very thing driving them apart. And as fans watch from afar, one haunting question remains. Can the Roloffs ever heal from this, or has the judge's order truly ended the story that began nearly 2 decades ago? In the end, the story of Matt and Caryn serves as a powerful reminder that success, love, and legacy often come at an unimaginable cost. Whether this court-ordered ban remains in place or is eventually overturned, one thing is certain. Their chapter in Little People, Big World history will never fade. It will always be remembered not just for the triumphs and milestones, but for the heartbreak, controversy, and the lessons that fame inevitably brings. With that said, thank you for watching, and until next time, stay tuned for more untold stories behind the Roloff legacy.